Hi Sagittarius, this is your December 2023 soul story. If you have a sun rising or your moon is in the sign, then this reading might resonate for you. It's Romy, thanks for joining me on the channel and listening in for our final soul story of the year. So we're going to open up this month for you with the energy of the Seven of Coins. And, you know, we can see the depiction of a sort of slowing down almost as he takes a moment under the tree, feeling supported by that tree. And so there is something about the energy of this month that holds you and gives you time to acknowledge and to accept, and most importantly, to make peace with the last 12 months. We also have this almost like convoy of gifts that arrive in December, spiritually, emotionally, energetically. And for you, through this solar return season, you know, there's so much new information that's landed in the last few weeks. And your responses are really critical in December, because this is now an opportunity for you to present and express this new version of self. And there's been a lot of fine-tuning that's taken place, and your frequency is now lighter. And there are two paths that I see being presented through the month of December, almost right into the beginning of next year through January. And you'll see them clear as day, and they definitely afford you an opportunity for you to make a very personal choice about the direction you want to take, who you feel you're becoming, and how you're going to honor and acknowledge that. Now, Venus is moving into Scorpio on the 4th of the month, which is bringing passion and, you know, the intensity to the relationships, the conversations, and to the way in which we are holding our value. And that's really important, because through the course of this month, we have a tremendous amount, positively, a tremendous amount of healing, very compassionate energy that's supporting us. Now, Neptune goes direct on the 6th, and, you know, we're almost able to realign with some of the hopes, the dreams, the aspirations, and the creative thoughts that we've had that perhaps have been stripped away, or we had to put on hold, or there was so much going on that we just weren't given the time or the space, or frankly didn't have the inclination to really think about it. But there's something about the energy of December that feels more this year stripped back, the desire for it to feel more simple, to appreciate more what you have around you, to notice more of the details, and to really step back from some of the kind of chaos, the frenzy that traditionally sort of comes along at this time of the year. So on the 12th of the month, 12/12 portal, very auspicious date, we'll also see your new moon in Sagittarius landing at 20 degrees. Now, Uranus is making a surprise announcement around this energy, and you're going to see something in a brand new light. But as the Three of Staffs emerges here, it also tells me that the conversations that you're having are incredibly progressive. You're going to feel good about what you're able to say, and really meaning what you say, and also being able to kind of align again with that horizon of possibility. Now, you know, the precursor to that is that we do find ways in order to make peace, so that we are not carrying a lot of the troubles and the burden and the challenging experiences that we've been through over the course of the last 12 months with us as we really create and consider what that future looks like. I think around that date you will be having very important conversations about your future, which may be pertaining to your work, your career, might be something going on more immediate in your family or with your relationships, but the announcements that you're making, the thoughts you're considering, you know, may surprise a few people with that Uranus intervention coming. And of course, with that 12/12 portal, there's also a power and a magnetism to what it is that you're saying, and you're really going to feel the resonance of that incredibly strongly. Now let's also be aware that Mercury will go retrograde in Capricorn on the same day. It'll actually move into your sign still in its retrograde transit on the 22nd. But, perhaps a little side note to say, anything that you need to do to prepare for the holidays, booking travel, securing gifts, anything like this, make sure you do it early. Make sure you're trying to get everything sorted ahead of that time, because you might just be experiencing a little bit more of the delay and unexpected sort of interventions and interference, shall we say. But what I'm really looking at here is that you are being given a powerful insight into the why, and that really helps you. It ensures that you are making decisions that come from an incredibly empowered place through December. And like I said, even though, for many it can be a deeply sensitive, incredibly emotional time of year for so many different reasons, what I'm seeing with you is a degree of leveled groundedness and the ability to kind of separate and detach and sort of, yes, still give yourself the opportunity to feel everything that you need to feel, but at the same time also kind of being driven and actually quite empowered in some of the choices that you're making. And these are so significant. And, November sort of brought some of this through for us as well. And part of that sort of mental reprogramming that, you've been doing the last few weeks, all of this together really kind of setting you up for next year. But the most important thing is that we leave the legacy of 2023 in one of deep appreciation and gratitude, in one of raw honesty in terms of everything that we went through, what we've witnessed, what we've seen, and how that really impacts the changes that we want to make. So the Ace of Coins, again, this arrival of gifts that we see coming, a very special one in some regards for you on its way, and particularly as we welcome, and build up to that solstice energy, 21st, 22nd, and allow the adjustment of that seasonal alignment to happen. You're almost being given like a fresh start, like an opportunity for something new, the potential, the seed of something, and it comes by way of being given a gift. And perhaps that gift is a conversation that opens a door, perhaps that gift is just a burst of energy, or finally feeling like you've secured an idea. Perhaps that gift is receiving a message from somebody that you needed to, or having the conversation. Whatever it is, it acts as an incredibly powerful catalyst for change, and it does kind of bring in this stream of sunlight, which tells me that you will feel energized, and it will directly hit into the heart chakra for you, because it is the overall feeling that we're going to be experiencing through the course of this month. Now, you might need to consider an alternative approach to something, okay, through the course of December. And that alternative approach might also, lead into the way in which you want to celebrate the holidays, or, doing something that you don't normally do, or introducing something new. I love that. Ace of Staffs. So another ace coming through, but certainly as you're feeling into a lot of this new energy, the kind of onus is that you have to do something differently with that. You've come too far with it. I also see you striking up like incredibly important connections, even in this kind of final few weeks of the year. And it may only initially land as a sort of fleeting conversation or a synchronistic meetup that happens socially, or an introduction that takes place. But again, like, there's almost going to be this awareness within you that this person, or the kind of energy of what's being discussed, is certainly going to be a part of, where you're going. And this is why I'm saying to you, as you start to see these paths, these two paths kind of clearly presenting themselves, I think it's going to be a kind of absolutely clear no-brainer for you, really, Sagittarius, as to which one you're going to end up taking. I think you'll still do the service to yourself and others, perhaps, of exploring, discussing, and feeling into kind of all the options that are on the table. Yeah. Now, when Mercury shifts retrograde into your sign on the 22nd, there's something important that we need to go back and review. And again, that might be something that, we have discussed, or a conversation that has taken place, and perhaps something that was missed, or that you now feel like you can add more to. There's been new information that's come to light, especially through that new moon energy on the 12th. And so what you bring to the table with that information might change things quite significantly. We've got the energy of transformation, of death coming through here. Things will never be the same again. Yeah, you're never going to go through a year like you've just been through. And, many of you may celebrate that and acknowledge, the readiness to move on and to experience something very different. There's also this feeling, conflict remains. It's not something we can ever eradicate, but do you have to pick a side, or can you stand for something different? And I think you're going to be asking yourself some deep and meaningful questions through the course of December. Who am I in my silence? Who am I in the chaos? Who am I in the darkness or in the light? When I'm struggling or when I'm at peace. And, it's kind of coming to terms with this new self, this I am presence within you, that really helps to shape and dictate the type of conversations that you have. And this is so incredibly powerful. Now, as we approach the holiday season, for those of you that celebrate, and this is really nice to see, because the last couple of years we've had some really intense, quite challenging, difficult aspects astrologically. The conversation this year is incredibly healing. On the 25th, Venus will trine with Neptune. We have the full moon in Cancer coming in the next day, sextile to Jupiter, trining with Saturn. We have Chiron, the wounded planet, going direct. And there just is this sense of being able to make peace and really having a much softer vibration with which to work with, okay? It definitely will bring about more sensitivity, more sentimentality, but it does absolutely help to initiate a pathway to peace, whether that be incredibly close to home or, a situation that you're still feeling very much a part of. What you're set to see is that vice-like grip that 2023 has had on all of us and in many different aspects of your pathway, starting to dissolve, starting to release. And now it's about making that decision. Am I living? Am I acting? Am I expressing from a place of love or a place of fear? And as the gifts start to kind of come in around that time, the onus again is on you to make the changes that will sort of honor what it is that you're receiving, if you like. And, we've got Mars in your sign through the course of this month. We're also then going to welcome Venus shifting into your sign on the 29th. So again, this kind of being helpful in the energy conversations. Look at that, 3 aces for December. Yeah, this is heralding a different experience for you. It's setting you up for something new. Now, Jupiter's also going to go direct right at the end of the month on the 30th. And the blessings, all of that internal expansion that's taken place now needing to be mirrored externally. So the manifestation is high. So your ability to be able to kind of draw something towards you, and even if it comes in at the 11th hour, something that you hoped or had anticipated would come together much earlier in the year, might just squeak in right before the turn of, 2024 arriving, or certainly in that first early part of the new year, giving you confidence, giving you a sense of renewal and restoration around your energy field. And, sometimes, and here's where the transformation is important, we need to recognize it's on us. We try to make the job or the family or the partner the issue, but sometimes the solution is being held within what we need to acknowledge and accept within us. And if you do feel lost, if you are really struggling within, the pathway that you're at the moment, and you feel that things are closing in or shutting down, or you're kind of looking back and there doesn't feel like there's much for you to be able to kind of anchor or hold on to, in that feeling of being lost through the course of December, it almost creates this limitless place to explore and be present, to be curious and unrestricted, to see what you have and then recognize what's still missing. And as that happens, this is where this flood of new energy starts to come through for you. Okay, so regardless of where you're at in your own personal circumstances, December is the deliverance of this convoy of gifts that is helping you. And there's a slow down that, Mercury will help facilitate so that you don't miss the things that you're supposed to hear, that you're supposed to see, that you're supposed to witness. Okay, so my soul journeys this month, I've created like a really beautiful guided journey around affirmations to support you through the holiday season, and they touch upon kind of all of the key areas around finances, family, love, and they're just going to kind of help to balance and ground you, especially if you find this a particularly challenging time of the year. We also have an incredibly beautiful release soul journey to let go of the energy of 2023, and this is so important so that what we initiate, and especially for you with these aces coming through, right? What we initiate isn't being overburdened or carrying the weight, especially of the more difficult, resistant experiences that we've had to go through. So you can check these out over on my website. They're in the comment and the description box underneath. Now, if you're new to the channel, our last 3 cards we do cover in the extended version of the reading. I'm going to speak for another 30 minutes or so. I will go into this in more detail. We'll also look at a personal question, a relationship card, and because it's December, we're also going to do a preview, major arcana for your year 2024, and just see what wants to come through as that kind of card of the year. Okay, so again, you'll find the links below. I'd love for you to join me and support the channel. Okay, so let's just have a look at clarifying these cards and seeing the direction we're going to be taking this. Of course, as we work our way into Capricorn energy from, the 21st onwards, that second house is illuminated for you. And it feels to me that there's such a spark of new inspiration, particularly around like income or how to improve your circumstances. And, in the same way, it's also going to highlight for you, beautiful, High Priestess, 9 of Cups. It's also going to highlight for you, look at that, all of the aces. Wow. The things that are also holding you back. Okay, so that's what's going to be so powerful about that experience as well. So you'll get crystal clear clarity on knowing, okay, this is what I have to do, but this is also the thing that's preventing me from doing this. And so it's just such an acute awareness experience, okay? Really having the opportunity to reset and experience something different in that final month of the year is what's emerging. It's not a huge surprise as we're in your solar returns to see all of these aces emerging, yeah, because this is the beginning of this new year for you. We've got the Hierophant coming in, that beautiful shooting star showing, and the sun. Okay. There's a feeling of a certain degree of justice being served in some regards, yeah, or just getting information about the initiation or the beginning of that process happening, okay? And again, coming in, perhaps for some of you professionally, but it feels much more personal, much more close to home. So it's almost like a karmic clear up, if you like, that final karmic clear up of the year. The Fool and the Emperor. Look at these lovely majors coming through as well. 9 of Wands. Another 7. I think a lot of you are having conversations about your work and career, changes that you're going to make, what you want to do through the course of next year, and either making those decisions through December or knowing that you're going to in the early part of January. Okay, so 9 of Swords, King of Swords coming through there. All right, so let's have a look at some oracle cards for you. This is my own deck, Life Soul Vision. Again, you'll find all my sacred titles, my deck and my book over on the website if you are looking for those gifts for yourself or loved ones this season. Let's have a look. The wishing tree, beautiful. Heart energy. Blossoming soul song. It's like, look, the universe is trying to say to you, like, don't give up. Like, you know, we're trying to come in with this wave to lift you, to lighten your vibration. We've got soul star energy and crown energy. I love all that beautiful violet coming through for you, especially the number 12 coming in, because that 12-12 portal arriving right on the new moon. It's beautiful. Encoded footprints. Okay, let's have a look here. All the decks that I use are always listed below, Sagittarius, yeah. Okay, we have Medicine Guardian, be open to healing information. With Chiron shifting direct, there's definitely something landing for you around that full moon in Cancer toward the end of the month, where if you've been struggling to know how to deal or to heal, to resolve, to get to the heart or the root of something, there's beautiful information that's surfacing around that time for you. Blue moon, the unexpected. There's that Uranus conversation happening on your new moon. So it's a surprise announcement, surprise news or information that's coming in that's really going to help propel you or clear something up or open up the dialogue or give a new perspective for you. Thank you so much for being here, for all your support this year. I appreciate you so much. I wish you an incredibly peaceful holiday season and the ability to make peace with yourself and with the journey that you've had to walk through the course of the last 12 months. I hope you'll join me for the extended so we can have one final conversation and share insight with you ahead of the new year. You take good care, have a beautiful solar returns, and I'll see you again in 2024. Bye for now.